Well, third straight 20-point game. What's gotten into you lately? What do you account for the great offensive explosions these last 3 games here?
Just trying to stay aggressive. My teammates find me in the open court in transition and find me for 3, so I just try to make every shot I can. So when they find me in transition, I just try to get them an assist and try to finish. And that's about it.
What did you like about your guys' defense today?
I like how aggressive he was. We came out kind of flat at first, but I think we turned it up a little bit and got after the ball and started getting some turnovers, and everybody got going. So I think it's pretty good.
You feel like you made a tough shooting night for him in certain ways?
Yeah, I think we made a tough shooting night. We tried to run them off the line as much as possible. They still got some open threes, but they just still felt our presence. Like we just trying to be around the ball, try to run them off and make them make layups and tough plays. So that's about it.
Program history. What are your thoughts? That's a pretty cool thing to have notched by your name.
Yeah, just honored to be the first in school history. I guess I'm just honored. That's all I can say about it.
What right now is working for you? It seems like tonight was a double-double. Things are going pretty well for you. What's clicking for you personally?
I'll say just my teammates around me finding me in the spots they know I like to play. I've just been trying to rebound more for our team because I know that's my role in the team. I know we're going to need that a lot. And just try to do little things for us.
Like we said, you can only play who you play, but competition's going to get much harder when you get the ACC and you start right away with Duke. Do you feel like this team's been tested enough, or are you kind of curious because some of these games haven't been that tough?
I feel like we've been tested. We played at Michigan. It was a very tough road game for us. We went to California, played some top BCS schools. I think we'll be fine.
Are you a basketball fan? Are you a guy who?
Yes.
Do you watch? Have you seen Duke play?
I've seen them play.
Obviously, they've got some big name recruits. And what do you think? I mean, not a huge scouting, but what's your impression of them?
I think they're a very deep team. Before all the injuries happened, I thought they would probably play like how Kentucky played when they had that platoon, 2 platoons. But they're a very deep team, very talented team. That's probably what I can say about it.
You played a lot of basketball both here and at Maryland. What's different about this team maybe than some of the past teams you've played on?
I think the pace that we play at and how we break down our offense and all right, Ty. How we break down our offense and how we just really want to get good shots and how good we play together, and we play. This is like the hardest working team I've ever been on. We play super hard and we just play for one another.
What do you guys have to improve on? You got one more non-conference game left before Duke comes to town. Where do you, if you put your finger on one thing where you need to improve on, what would that be?
I'd say just playing really good defensively for 40 minutes. We'll play for like 32 and have 8 minutes where a team will go on a run, and once you get to ACC, you can't allow good teams because there's about 6 teams in the top 25 in the ACC. So teams like that feed off a run. So you can't do that in the ACC.
You guys, you have a lot of good players, but not necessarily a lot of depth because of injuries. But it seems like the 8 guys who are playing have a lot of chemistry together right now.
Yeah, I think the best teams that are always good play with 8 guys. It's kind of hard to get a rhythm with 10 guys. When you got 8. Everybody knows their role. We know our rotation. We know when we're going in and stuff, and we just really try to play for one another and keep playing hard.
6th straight win. What do you like about how the team is playing during this winning streak?
I think we're sharing the ball incredibly well. I think they're playing for one another. I think they completely understand our identity offensively. We're not getting cremated on the glass like we once were. That's improved. It needs to continue to improve. We're doing a better job of getting to the free throw line and making that more of a priority. Those would be the main things.
You had C and Lede on the court together for the first time tonight. How did that work out for you in that limited action?
I thought offensively it was okay. I don't know. I would have to watch the tape to have a more accurate answer defensively. We've been working on it a little bit to see if there could be a package for those guys on both ends of the floor, and I thought it was time that we tried it. I think it has to be something that we can count on, but we need more reps at it.
When you recruited Ahmed Hill, he was one of the highest scorers ever in the state of Georgia. Do you feel like he's really growing into that scoring role at this level now?
The first time I went to Med's place, you can see a kid, this is probably more than you want to know. I adore Med. You can see a kid 7 times. So I flew to Augusta 7 times when he was a junior. I flew to Augusta 7 times when he was a senior. And I never watched a game and I never watched a practice. They're called contacts or evaluations. Evaluations means that you watch them. And contact means that you talk to them. And every single time I'd make the same turn. His mom works at a daycare at a church in town. Obviously, he went to school, and I would just go visit with him. And his life story and the level of respect that I have for him and his mom is the ultimate. And I always thought he was a good player. Early in his junior year, he was being recruited by everybody in the country. He took one official visit, which is very rare for a top 50 player, and never even took a visit here, obviously, because of how things transpired. But his mom texts me every morning when she wakes up. She texts me every afternoon that we have a game. He's as tough a kid as you can imagine. He internalizes nearly everything that transpires in his life because he's so hungry to be successful. Obviously, he cares about ball and he wants to be successful, but you could pick a category of his life, and that's the level of pride that he takes. I think he's got a lot of Renaissance men to him. He's grown. He was grown when I met him. He's grown in how he speaks. That was 14 home visits, and I'm not sure that he had 14 sentences total that he said. He just looked at me dead in the eye, never blinked, never slouched. Met him at the same place in the principal's office. The principal would leave, and I'd go in her office, and he'd come in there, and we'd just have church. And when I get tired and say amen, then that was the end of it. He'd say, "Thanks for coming, Coach." That was it. But he's a good player, and he's, as a redshirt sophomore, he's hard to take off the floor. And there's every kid wants to play as much as possible, but I don't know, even when he was a freshman, that year, 51% of our minutes in ACC play came from freshmen, and then 62% of our minutes last year in ACC play came from kids in the first year in the program. Obviously, those numbers were skewed because Med didn't play. But there's not one player on our team, one person in our organization that ever objects to Med playing the number of minutes that he plays, because everybody in an unspoken way has that level of respect for him.